baseball fans, we are running it back one more time. Woo! 2025. It's coming home. Whatever. Keeping it the same coaching staff and largely the same roster for the Phils in 2025. One guy on the team said enough was enough. Nick Castellanos. He fired his agent, Scott the Snake Boras. I just gave him that nickname because fuck him. Scott Boras is a snake. Nicky will be repping himself for the foreseeable future. He pulled a Thanos.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Interesting not being a contract year, but Casty, go for it, man. These freaking Mets are really pests. They are such pests. Speaking of pests, there's a snake in my boot.
There's a snake in my boot.
Sorry, snake in the dugout. Sorry, Disney. We saw Rick Vaughn. Nope, not him. Rick Ankiel. No, not him either. It's Joey Cantillo. Wild Thing. We saw two pitchers. Only two pitchers ever with 4 wild pitches in a single playoff game. That's Rick Ankiel and Joey Cantillo. I don't know what they were doing. They must have been playing Wild Thing in the dugout and it just threw off his entire vibe. Guardians are now sitting down 0-2 in the series to the Yanks, and the Dodgers and Mets are sitting at 1 apiece. I don't like it. Last thing I ever want to see is another Subway series. Gold Glove finalists are finally in. Some shocks and snubs. Let's get down to business and defeat the puns. Because that's all I am. I'm just a punny guy. Jay, crack one open for me. It may be the last time we podcast. I'm going on vacation, leaving on a jet plane. I'll be back Monday. It's Drunks on the Pond. You know what to do. Be sure to like, follow, share, subscribe. Donate to my funeral costs. Other than that, let's get it on.
Drunks on the Pond, the big episode 30. Damn. Hard to believe we're 30 episodes into this goddamn thing. That's insane.
Gross.
Yeah, I mean, Christ, where to start? I mean, the Phillies. Not the Phillies, but Dave Dombrowski came out and said that all of the coaching staff will return for the next season. They don't plan on making any real big changes, don't plan on going after any superstars, which honestly, me personally, I am more than fine with.
Absolutely.
This team is loaded enough with superstars that you should be able to put regular role players around them and make a good playoff push. That is perfectly fine with. For the people who are complaining about not going after Juan Soto, I mean, I would say, do the Phillies look like the type of team to offer a man $500 million? But we've come to learn that they are definitely the team that would do that. So I was actually really happy to hear that, you know, they're kind of taking the foot off the gas pedal a little bit, not a lot, but they're not out there trying to buy the highest talent because
we know right now.
As we know right now. Because you just lost to the Mets, who, not to crap on them, but it's not like they have a ton of talent on the field. They just got by with perfect, timely hitting. That's how we.
But also, don't forget, they have the highest payroll in baseball.
Which is insane to me, because when you look at the field, you're like, who? Like,
if this was last year, you'd be like, who the fuck are these guys?
Like, who the fuck
Not
are
even
they
like,
paying?
who are the Mets? Like, who the fuck are these guys in Mets uniforms?
Like, we're talking about a team that last year had Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, who are both now gone. And, of course, this is a year that they're in the NL Championship. Funny how that works out.
Yeah.
But on the topic of the Phillies, I did think it was interesting that Dave Dombrowski came out and said, for the outfield, we really don't have really any big plans for Castellanos and Marsh, but he kind of left it at that. Which, if you're a Phillies fan, you realize he didn't say Rojas. No, he did not. I think that's fair because, listen, Rojas defensively, solid. Offensively,
awful.
Could probably use a little bit of work.
I mean, he hit 250.
250 is fine.
250 is above average.
I'm fine with 250 if you're not going to hit for 250 and you're hitting per power. I'm fine with 250 and you're not hitting for power. I'm like, all right, buddy. Like, it's not like you're swinging for the fences. Like, what are you actually doing at the plate right now?
Like, he literally had 3 accidental home runs this year.
His home run last year was off a position player pitching.
It was. And he did come out and say he's a little upset that his first career home run was off someone who's not a pitcher. So you got to give him a little respect for that.
All that tells me is that he knows he angered the baseball gods doing that, and he was like, I am so sorry. And they were like, you know what you're going to do? Hit 3 next year. And he's like, I guess that's punishment.
He literally said, can I triple it?
Triple it and give it to me again.
They said, triple 1? And he goes, yeah, I guess.
He's like, I would love to hit 3. Now, but for players, like I'm fine with
me. I would love to hit 3 major league home runs.
I would take 3.
Like, I'd go down as an immortal.
Like, after hitting the first one, I'd be like, I get to do this 2 more times. I'm like, dude, hell yeah! Like, it's going to be a holiday when I hit 1.
Whoa, you need 2 more times. I get to go around these bases and then go hang out with a bunch of dudes who are going to smack my ass and give me high fives.
I mean,
awesome.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, dude.
And if you're going to tell me that one of those home runs is coming off of a position player pitching, oh yeah, I am going to celebrate.
Oh, dude, I'm going to smack my own ass.
Like, I'm going to just run around the bases, smacking your own ass.
I'm going to be like Happy Gilmore with the club between my legs. Woo!
Just run around the bases, fucking. Oh, that'd be great.
And then I'll get called out because I carried the bat past first base.
Yep. And then you get fined, and then we got to struggle to get you paid.
They're going to be like, penalty, illegal celebration, and it's like, what?
I mean,
this isn't the no fun league.
We also talked about it last week, like how we were both just like, it's time for Topper to go. It's time for Kevin Long to go. You can make the argument for Caleb Cotham to go. And then Dave Dombrowski came out and said, he's like, I don't plan on making any changes. And frankly, Topper's going to be here till the end of 2026. So now we're sitting here like, okay. All right. Listen, I'm willing to give it another chance. I am. Like we both said it, we don't like the way that anything went at the end of last year.
This
year, Jesus Christ.
It's not over.
Sound like an ex.
Miss you.
But no, I'm fine with Topper coming back. Caleb Cotham, as bad as the bullpen was, I think that was just a shitty time.
I really
I'm
hope
to give
that
Cotham another chance.
Yeah,
but bringing back Kevin Long is something that I'm just like, are we sure? Like, are we really, really doing this again? I mean,
my only thing is I think they're bringing Kevin Long back because of what he helped the team accomplish in the first half. But also, same with Caleb. I think Double D. Listen, man, I love Double D's. Not a big fan of this Double D. Not right now, man. I mean, it's kind of annoying when you're a director of baseball operations and not your GM is ever involved. I mean, have you ever heard Sam Foltz speak?
Probably at his introduction press conference, but that was about it.
And then DD went, sit in the corner.
He's like, you know what your job is? To look at me.
And get my coffee.
And Sam Folt's like, okay.
Sam Folt's like, I was told you don't drink coffee. And he goes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm under the impression right now that Double D's just went right into this with more the mentality of, look at what we did in the first half. And then was like, well, what about the second half? And he was like, look what we did in the first half. And then another person was like, well, what about the second half? Or right after London. And he goes, look what we did in the first half.
Do you know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of that meme that went around like 6 or 7 years ago where they're in the meeting and the guy's like, does anyone have any ideas? The one guy speaks up and then the manager looks at him pissed off and then kicks him out of the window. Yep. I feel like that's what Dave Dombrowski did during that whole meeting.
Uh-huh.
He was like, does anyone have an idea? And they were like, we should probably fire Rob Thompson, Kevin Long, and Caleb Cotham. You know, the second half didn't go well, and it kind of translated into the postseason.
Meanwhile, all three of them are sitting at that table, too.
Dave Dombrowski just looked at the guy who said that, kicked him out of the window, and he's like, you know what? Not only are we running it back, but we're keeping Rob until the end of 2026, and that's where we're at as a ball club. I mean, listen, I'm not angry about it, but
no,
I'm also not sitting here being like, this is the greatest news I've ever heard in my life.
Dude, I mean, I was thinking about it earlier as I was trying to write our introduction and everything. Like, one thing I wanted to ask you, because I'm certainly in the feeling, and not even the feeling, just I'm in the stance. Like, I'm in a 3-point stance on this. Do you want to recant anything you said last week about the coaching staff? Because I certainly don't.
No.
Listen, they have to prove to me and you and the city again that they weren't just a first half hot team.
Yes.
Because, let's face it, playing one game above 500 ball for the second half and still winning the division, and next year you have to fight a healthy Braves team.
That's the biggest thing right there. When the Braves come back healthy, it's going to be a dogfight again. And it's not just like the Phillies and the Braves. No, now you're going to have the Mets in there. You're going to have...
with all this false confidence and cockiness and subway rats bigger than fucking Grimace.
Like, the Mets are going to be there. The Braves, like you said, are going to be fully healthy. They're going to be fighting for their title again.
Is Acuna starting the year, or is he still going to be out?
Safe answer is that he's probably out, but no,
that's Acuna, what I thought.
He might try and up his rehab to get ready.
Well, I mean, don't forget, he was also out a year and a half last time.
Yeah. I mean, there's a good chance, but, like, even when they were missing Acuna, like, they were still in the playoff until the last game of the season. They were in the playoffs.
Yes, you're right. You're right. You're not wrong.
It's just, I don't know. Like,
Acuna's not their only player. They had a super down year with Matt Olson. Austin Riley played less than 70 games, and my fantasy team fucking knew it.
Yeah, me and you both, dude. I dropped. I will say this, though. Right now, my confidence for the Phillies next year, and this is before they make any moves, so take it with a grain of salt, probably at around 35% to repeat as NL East champs.
I don't want to disagree. Like, it's 35% is generous.
It is very generous.
I could 100% say 25% and just be okay with that and be like, yeah, no, it's cool. I could put money on 25%. I mean, I'm not talking like substantial money. I ask people for money on our podcast, so no. 25% is realistic. 35% is realistic as well, but more on the high hopeful side.
So I go 35 because if everything works out as it should, you will have Andrew Painter in the starting rotation, which
Come May.
Me personally believes that is a top 3 rotation in all of baseball. I would even put it in top 2. I feel like someone out there definitely has a stronger rotation. Like,
you mean like a healthy Dodgers?
The healthy Dodgers are definitely up there. Like,
And
they might be number 1, and
you
then
got
the
the healthy
Phillies might be
Dodgers.
2.
You got healthy Mariners.
I don't know, man. The Mariners kind of chalked it up this year.
Their starting rotation was not the reason.
No, it wasn't the reason. Like,
we're talking starting rotation. You brought the starting rotation. So that's your top 3. Even right now, that's top 5.
I would go Dodgers, Phillies, and if you want to put the Mariners in, I'll put the Mariners at 3.
God damn. That's fair. But also, you got to throw in... You all right over there, buddy?
Dude, my nose is so fucking itchy.
You got some bats in the hanger?
I thought I did. I got them all. Fuck.
Here, go like this. Was that your electrolysis appointment? Oh, hey, Jenna.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah, dude. I knew I had you there. Because you actually did it. I was like, I gotta do it.
Fucking love basketball. That's such a great movie. But I mean, the main point I want to make is that, getting Painter back healthy, Sanchez is locked up. You're gonna lock up Suarez. Is Suarez locked up, or are we locking him up this year? Because I think he got
He's got another year before arbitration.
Okay, so Suarez is getting locked up. Noli just locked up. You still have Wheeler on a contract. Your rotation's pretty much set in stone.
Yeah, you can't argue about it.
I mean, you brought it up too. The healthy Dodgers are easily the most dangerous rotation in baseball. It's pretty much those two. The Mariners.
He has arbitration this year. Ranger.
Is he? Oh, okay. So
Free
Rangers
agent 26.
So Rangers getting paid.
He has to.
He is absolutely getting paid.
Unless he has a second half.
I don't even want to think about that.
No one does.
Rich, I was watching the Yankees Guardians game, and I gotta tell you, man, you want to talk about someone that goes from a bulldog to a goddamn chihuahua in the blink of an eye? Look no further than fucking Aaron Judge, man. Oh my God. You're telling me this man has a goddamn career year. Career. 58 home runs, 144 RBIs. He hit 322. 322. He gets to the postseason. He's 3 for 18 and hitting 167. I mean,
the heat is on. He can't handle the heat.
I'm just sitting here watching. I'm like, oh my God, like some people turn it on for the postseason. This man in the dead of winter turns off the heat. I don't know why. Like, he's not freezing, but he ain't exactly fucking hot either.
Put it this way, he's Captain America in 1972.
Oh, he's
on ice.
That's a great way to put it. I respect that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Duh.
Like, I just find it funny that, like Aaron Judge is like, I am the man. And then he gets to the postseason, he's like, Stanton, can you take over for me, please? And Stanton's just like, oh, I actually know how to do this. And then he's just hitting mammoth shots, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, here we go.
Dude, I didn't think I would see Stanton doing better in the playoffs than Judge. I knew what Soto was going to do.
Soto's going to do Soto things.
Yeah.
I do have to be honest, though. I am loving a healthy Giancarlo Stanton. Like,
it's great.
You
great for the sport.
You almost forget how great of a baseball player he is when he is healthy. Like, my man's had some bad years, like, bad. Nothing like Chris Davis Orioles bad.
No.
Because that was terrible. Like, Stanton, before the injuries, when he was a Marlin, when his name was Mike, he was a dangerous fucking hitter.
Jay, we don't dead name here.
Oh, shit. We might get canceled for that one.
Whatever. Who cares?
But, dude, a healthy Stanton smoking balls like 440 feet. It's one of those things where I'm like, damn, dude, I'm so glad he's not on the Marlins anymore. And it's so good to see him healthy.
I can tell you right now, he was one of my favorite home run derbies ever.
Dude, back in at Marlins Park when he broke the scoreboard.
No, is it SunTrust? No, not SunTrust.
No, Federal Loan something. Federal Loan Park. Federal Loan Depot.
I am so old. I always think of every Miami Marlins stadium, like MVP baseball, when they used to share a stadium with the Dolphins. I always think of it as pro player stadium.
Yeah.
Always and forever. I don't care if they get 10 new stadiums in the next 35 to 100 years. I'm still going to call it pro player stadium where they play. Because it's hilarious.
I forgot about pro player.
I don't even know what it was called then.
I couldn't fucking tell you. Marlins. No, it's not Marlins Park.
No, not when Dolphins play there too. They don't swim together, dog.
They're in the ocean.
Okay, cool.
All right, hold on. I'll get you a goddamn name.
So we're sea cucumbers. They don't call it Sea Cucumber Park.
Fuck you. Florida Marlins Stadium. I gotta tell you though, the Florida Marlins Stadium, or not the stadium, the black hat with the old logo, goated.
Oh, I love
that. Is such a beautiful hat. I wish they would bring that back, man. That was so great.
That's not even a throwback for them, is it?
I don't think so. No, I think they made it. I think they made it a throwback a couple, either not this year but last year.
Did they? Okay. Because I thought they were only about the Miami logo, but then also just their. I mean, it's hard to argue. They're kind of sick. What are those stupid jerseys called? The City Connect.
Yeah.
Theirs is kind of sick. I kind of like theirs. But other than that, I would never wear it. It just doesn't look good with my skin tone.
That's definitely fair.
Meanwhile, Chaboy is going to be wearing baby blue, lots of flamingos, and pink flamingo Hawaiian shirts for the next week. It's going to be dope. I'm trying to look like I'm a 57-year-old tourist out with my hot 19-year-old wife.
Gotta respect it. You just gotta respect it.
I don't have a 19-year-old wife. I'm not 57. But on top of that, I love my 30-plus-year-old girlfriend. She's perfect in every single way. I don't want a 19-year-old. I'm just saying. Kate, I love you.
So, the stadium name you were looking for was Sun Life Stadium.
Thank you. That's why I said SunTruist. But that's the Braves.
Yeah. Well, the Braves are Truist.
It's SunTruist Bank.
I thought it was Truist. I I'm almost pretty sure it's just Truist Park.
Well, since we're on the subject of ballparks,
Oh boy.
another Floridian ballpark.
Oh yeah. Yep. I got in a lot of trouble on Twitter for this one.
Did you?
I pissed off a lot of people.
Oh,
Lot.
did you?
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way around. I'm the one who's pissing off people with my jokes.
Oh no. Oh no no no. I pissed off a lot of people with this one.
Ooh. I am looking forward to this, but let's just get into it and say what we're even talking about first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The Tropicana Field. Tropicana orange juice. Unfortunately, it is officially unable to be playable for the start of the 25 season. They built a roof on that when they created the stadium. Not like create a stadium and MLB The Show. When they designed it and built it from ground up, brick and mortar. Because it's Florida and it rains every other day.
Yeah.
And it can rain for 45 minutes. It can rain for 12. It could rain for 45 days straight. That's why they built a roof on both of the Florida parks. They did not do a water drainage system. I understand they play on turf. I get that. You would think that any modern park. And so what would you say? The first modern park was what? 93 with the Rockies?
I'd say so.
So Tampa Bay was the same time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because they were
Marlins were 97, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, they came after the strike. Rockies were 93, I believe. Either that or they might have been strike. No, Rockies were 93. What is that?
What?
Okay, I thought I heard some bells or whistles. I'm not stroking out, I promise. But anyway, I think Florida is, because unfortunately, that whole coast of Florida will not have a baseball team, more than likely, for the foreseeable future. Because as of right now, their stadium got approved, their new stadium. And that is scheduled for 28.
Yes.
Let's rough estimate 29 to be safe.
Because it's probably the best guesstimate.
Obviously, they're going to have to pull back on some building supplies and actually have that building supplies go towards having people in the community that can actually go to the games.
Yeah, maybe fixing up the community before they focus on a ballpark that only 7,000 people go to a game.
Is it 7,000? Well, that's a big jump up.
Let's say they're probably averaging maybe 10, maybe 11.
Yeah, I was going to say 7,000. That's a big jump up from what they were 2 years ago when they were one of the best teams in baseball. Wasn't it about 4? But yeah, their new stadium is underway. But we're looking at, they won't have a stadium to play in this season.
Nope.
I mean, they're still getting rain in Florida. So therefore, it's becoming a fish tank. No pun intended. That stadium right now might have some rays swimming in it.
Fun fact, they actually do have a Stingray touch tank out in center field. It's actually really cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I just hope that I honestly hope the Stingrays are all right. I hope someone got them out there in safety.
I really hope it didn't drown.
You got me in a box here, but I don't know what you want me to say.
Just tell me to shut up. So, as of right now, the estimate is 75 to 100 million to repair the roof. And we're looking at not being done this year. So, what's the point in even doing it when you have to wait 2 more years? Do you think they're going to fill out a minor league stadium and just play there?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think. I mean, if I remember correctly, when I passed that stadium driving down there, we got to Clearwater in maybe half hour, 45 minutes. Like, I think it was just straight highway.
Sure.
I mean, for the time being, you could probably just go play there for a little bit. I mean, that seems like the easiest thing to do.
They'll
Just
fill a stadium.
Find a ballpark somewhere in the area, minor league, spring training, play down there so your fans can still get there. I mean, I think it's all pretty simple at that point. Just get yourself to a minor league stadium. If you want to do something funny, Oakland's got a stadium that's not being used. You can move there.
Ooh, Oakland would really like some revenue coming in from that location.
Could you imagine? The
It would be
A's
the
move
best thing
out.
ever.
The A's move out. The Rays move in. The A's, the Rays. It rhymes. It makes sense.
Ooh, I
Let's
like
make a
where your
book.
head's at.
Let's write a story about this. Can we
I'll
get
make
an
it a children's
ESPN
book.
30 for 30 on this? The A's and the Rays, the move in, move out.
No. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely love that. But don't forget, we did see a team flourish pretty damn well offensively when they couldn't play in their home stadium. And that was in 2020, the forbidden years.
Yeah, we don't talk about that year.
No. That year was gross. We don't say the C word here.
I'm not saying.
In 2020, the Jays had to play in America. I know, gross. Ew. Ugh. Because of the travel restrictions via
The C
Canada.
word.
A different C word.
Ah, Canada. Gotcha.
Canada. So the Jays the Jays played in Salem Field in Buffalo, New York. And let's just say Vladdy loved it.
Vladdy had the time of his life.
Vladdy had a great season there. Well, a great 30 games.
No, let's say we played 60 total. And then, yeah.
So, I would love to see something smart happen with the Rays. They are, as an organization, a very cheap, but genius organization when it comes to player management. I would love to see how this goes when it comes to actual fiscal needs for a home. So, I mean, this is very unique. I mean, I think the last time we saw like a horrible stadium issue, I mean, we've seen a bunch of NFL training camps and NFL like practice facilities get destroyed by storms. Remember the Colts practice field got destroyed by a tornado and snow and all that shit, and it just tore down the tarp roof that they had.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember if like I don't think it was any professional stadiums besides the Saints home. Superdome? No, not Superdome.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
I don't think that's what it was called back when Katrina hit.
I think it was Mercedes. I thought it was a Mercedes. Hold on.
But I mean, that's one of the first instances I remember in like my coherent life. And when I say coherent life, I mean as a mid to late teen, of being able to remember shit that doesn't only affect me, my body, and what's going on with it. So, yeah, I mean, at one point you had to spend, $200 to go in to that stadium to watch a game for the Saints. And then eventually it was, with Katrina, you got to float in on a car tire for free. So, it's been a long time since I've seen a professional stadium destroyed. No. Even last week, it was last week when Dodger fans were throwing shit at Padres fans. They didn't destroy the stadium. They just destroyed their lovely record of being great fans. Let's leave in the 7th because traffic stinks.
So, I got something for you here.
All right.
So, we brought up the Saints. It was called the Superdome until 2011. You were right. And then the naming rights were sold to Mercedes-Benz, and then they were renamed the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
Red Stadium. Yeah.
And then 2021, it was sold to Caesars Entertainment, and now it's the Caesar Superdome. So
Caesar didn't actually live here, right?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, but back to it. I want to make sure I get this out because of why I got bashed on Twitter.
Hey, Jay, remind me of why you got your ass kicked on Twitter.
So I didn't get my ass kicked. I got yelled at by a lot of people. A lot of Floridians were not happy.
Ooh.
So there was a post on Twitter from someone down there and said that the stadium's roof was going to cost 9 figures to fix. For those of you keeping track at home, 9 figures is like the $100 million price range. And and there were a lot of comments being like, where can we donate? Where can we help pay for this for the roof? And I was like, all right, we're not doing all that. And I made a comment that said, why spend $100 million on paper mache when you could just go to Joann Fabrics and get it for $12.99 a roll? And oh my God.
This is why we're friends. This is why we're friends.
You would have thought that I just completely just ruined. You would have thought that I was the hurricane that blew through Florida at this point.
I would think you just kicked their dog.
Because, my God, I had someone...
Now, why would you come in here into this unrespectful chat and say something so negative? I can't believe you done did that.
The biggest problem was that I kept feeding into it because the one guy responded, and I think he was another news anchor, because he responded and said, "It's not paper mache, you jackass." And I said, in response, "It's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard." And, dude, his 14,000 followers came at me hard.
Oh, so they hit you with a dick.
Boy, oh boy.
Mollywop.
I had one person respond going, "Well, he's from Philly. What do you expect?" To which my response was, "Well, at least my state's still going to be here in 20 years when yours is underwater." And that didn't go over too well with the people of Florida either. And I was like, hey, at least the Florida Panthers got a Stanley Cup before you all drown.
Hey, look at it this way. That state, if they told them that there was going to be a catastrophic tsunami, and if they didn't all buy water wings to survive, they'd be like, fuck you, don't tell me what to do. And they would all do something that's not what the government told them to do.
Not wrong. But
Nope.
needless to say,
I'm going to sit on my roof.
Florida's not too happy with me right now, and that is okay.
Oh, no, I should go to their airport tomorrow.
Yeah, if someone brings up the Drunks on the Pond episode,
I swear, if I'm in Miami's airport tomorrow and someone goes, hey, you from Drunks on the Pond? I'm like, nope.
never heard of them.
What's that?
Dude,
Should I follow it?
that would be hysterical if you get called out like that.
If they flat out say, no, you shouldn't follow it, I'm like, we're doing something right.
I'm like, oh yeah. It's like, well, at least it's working. Yeah, so you can thank me if someone fucking comes up to you and starts that's hand up. That's my bad. I started shit with the entire state of Florida.
I'm cool with it because fuck them. I hate that state so much. I'm pissed off that I have to spend more than 2 hours there tomorrow.
Like,
I'd rather be in New York.
No, you don't. I've driven through that that
I was
whole
with
state.
you.
No, I've done it multiple times.
I know
the
you
one
went to
time,
Cooperstown many times.
No, the one time that you were there, that was bad because we had to cross the George Washington.
It was right after Hurricane Sandy.
Was it? Yeah, it was.
So we were driving. Fun story. Jay and I were driving to Boston to go drink and go to a real baseball city. And we were going to go have a great time, go see the Red Sox, go enjoy Boston and a bunch of breweries in Boston because we both love to drink. On our way up, we're driving in Jay's two-door Scion that is 7.5 inches off the ground.
That motherfucker was clapped out. I missed that car.
That car was boss. But I will tell you right now, it is not fucking fun being in that car when we're driving on the GW Bridge and there are logging trucks flying past us on the other side, splashing 7 feet of water on top of us, so we could not see shit.
I totally
thought we were going to die because we couldn't see anything. Like, your windshield wipers, they needed, like, 10 Iron Man suits to power how fast they needed to go to get rid of all the rain and water that was on our fucking car. We could not see shit. You were like, don't talk to me right now. And I was like,
dude,
okay.
I had to lock in on that one.
You were like, just turn the fucking music down. I can't see. Just don't talk. And I was like, you got it, bud.
I thought you were going to say, like, we left. Mind you, we left at like 2 a.m.
It was such a stupid idea because we were also we were not drinking.
No, there was no drinking involved the night before.
No,
we just didn't sleep because we ended up watching Airheads, and fucking great movie.
A goat.
And we're pulling up to this toll, like the George Washington. There's a toll. It is 3:30 in the morning at earliest.
Yeah, I mean, we made really good time because no one was on the road.
It was like a Thursday. It was like a Friday at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was backed up traffic. 18-wheelers, Dodge Challengers, all just flying around each other, just trying to get to the same goddamn spot.
Nothing on the road was our size. Everything was 2 times to 17 times bigger than us.
I am terrified. I got people honking at me. I'm just trying to get to Boston as safe as possible, and these New Yorkers are up my ass, making it harder than it needed to be.
We're in
That's
our
all
little
I'm saying.
we're in our little Matchbox car next to fucking Tonka trucks, and they're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing in our way? And you're like, sir.
My favorite part was the minute we got out of New York and into Connecticut, the sun was out. You would have thought that there was not an ounce of rain for the past like 3 weeks. Like it was dry. Connecticut was beautiful.
Within 6 minutes of getting in Connecticut, our car was completely dry.
Yeah.
And we were just happy and be like, oh my God. But a lot of people don't realize if you're making that trip up to Boston from Philly, Connecticut is the longest drive you're ever going to have.
Dude, I felt like we were on that one road the whole goddamn fucking trip.
You hit Connecticut and then you cross the entire state. Like, you cross the entire length of the state. And it's like, dude, Connecticut on the map is this goddamn big. But in reality,
it's like
Connecticut
600
is your
fucking
travel.
miles. Like
Connecticut is your travel.
like
Dude, it was wild.
There was one road that we were on, and it was
a highway.
So obviously one lane's going this way, the other lane's going that way. Regular fucking roads. In the middle,
that's traffic.
In the middle, there's just trees. Not like big overgrown trees. No, like these trees are well kept, and then there's trees on both sides. So you're sitting there just driving down. You're like, oh, this is cool. This is nice and peaceful.
2 hours later.
2 hours of that, and you're like, brother, what the fuck was all with all these goddamn trees?
I remember I looked at you and I went, did we pass that tree? And you went, shut the fuck up. It's been a straight road. And I was like, it's all the same.
When you're in Connecticut, there's one exit that says Boston. You get off at that exit. You drive for a half hour and you are there. I was so pissed off at how much time we spent in goddamn Connecticut just to get into Boston a half hour later.
Dude, it was disgusting.
And we were there. I was like, there's no way that is even that's not even plausible.
In fairness, we stayed in Framingham first.
Yeah. Well, we stayed in Framingham the whole time, didn't we? Yeah.
Yes, that was my other trip to Boston, sorry.
Yeah, because we stayed in Framingham. Oh my God, we got there at like 8 in the morning.
They were like, check-in's not till 11. We're like, can we just go to bed?
It's like,
they were like, your room's ready, it's fine.
Literally got out there, we're like, we'll wake up in like 4 hours. I think we both slept till like 1. You're like, let's do a tour of Fenway. And it was like, let's party.
We were like, no, we went to some weird, like, local food chain. It's like their Applebee's up there, except it's a little bit different. We went there and had a couple beers, and you were like,
it was
like 39 or something like that.
No, 99.
Thank you. Okay.
It was the 99. That's where
99
we were.
food chain. Dude, you were like, these are the best buffalo tenders I've ever had in my life. And I was like, I just think we're sleep deprived.
No, they were actually pretty fucking solid. I'll be honest with you. I'm a big buffalo tender guy. 99 buffalo tenders that they fucking slapped. Anyone going to Boston, get those.
Yeah, dude. It was a great fucking trip, dude.
That was a fun goddamn time. I just remember we got up to Fenway for the tour, and the box office was open. I was like, I'm pretty sure they're home this fucking weekend. Walked in the box office.
No. They weren't supposed to be home. They were supposed to be playing the fucking Rays in Tampa. But unfortunately, all the storms forced them to relocate home. So we lucked out, and we witnessed a home game where Tampa was the home team in Fenway.
Yes, we did. Tampa had their home jerseys on, and Boston was the away team.
Dude, it was sick.
Because that was the game Steven Souza Jr. ran into the right field wall and fucking tore his knee.
Yes.
Because you went to the bathroom, you came back, and everyone was standing staring at right field. You're like, what happened? I was like, I think Steven Souza just died.
And I was like, all right.
That was a great time, man.
You bought a sick Devers jersey t-shirt.
Oh, I did. A shirtsy.
Yeah, and I bought a sale shirtsy.
Man, I miss that goddamn thing. Obviously, I can't fit it now because it's been however many years and I've gained however many pounds.
I've had a kid.
But-
My body's just not the same.
But I would definitely love to get. That was a nice fucking. I think I still have that hat upstairs actually too.
Oh, the 47? That was
Yeah,
the
the
first year the
47
47
Boston.
started coming out.
Yes.
And then the next year, we were like, well, you and I walked in, we were like, where the fuck's New Era?
And they were like, yeah, no, they don't do that around here anymore. I
And
was
then
like,
47 took over the league.
And then they were like, we have all these 47 Red Sox hats. I was like, well, I mean, I like hats.
But also, let's be fair. Fenway is an experience. Incredible.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
Lansdowne Street, sick.
Just as great as I imagined it would be.
And then, what's the front street where you enter the stadium?
Yawkey Way.
Yawkey Way, yes. That store on Yawkey Way is one of the coolest fucking stores I've ever been in for merch.
Red Sox galore. You can find anything in there.
It looks like a warehouse.
Yes.
Like, you walk into it and it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is a store that had, like, roll-up doors. And that's, like, their only protection. You didn't touch a door handle to get in. They just rolled up the door and said, we're open. We walked in. They literally had fucking Ted Williams balls just on display in the case. Not his testicles.
Ted Williams testicles.
That's a huge display. The glass case they were in was about 35 by 35 feet because Ted Williams' balls were huge.
Just the thought of there being a glass case and just a little post-it note with a marker written Ted Williams testicles.
$8 million.
$4,500.
$8 million. Come on, dude. You can't find fortitude like that.
Oh man, that Boston trip. Good God, that was one of
Also,
a kind.
hey, shout out Jack's Abbey Brewing.
Yes.
Shout out Jack's Abbey Brewing. You guys were fucking fantastic. We love you. Love to come back up.
Yeah. If you guys ever want to extend an invitation, I am damn willing to come back up there and drink.
Hell
again.
yeah, son.
That would be a great time.
Listen, I love Philly. Love Philly.
Yes.
My home. Sports City, top tier. Don't care about any other Boston teams except the Red Sox. That alone, the experience that we had going to Fenway and living that whole experience, top notch.
One of a kind.
One of a kind. Beautifully said. It's a very common sentence, but beautifully said. They nailed everything. Aesthetic, just feeling, and history, just everything. I remember when you and I were on the tour the day before we went to the game, you went, hang on, don't talk to me. I gotta take a second. This is just incredible. And then, like, 2.5 minutes later, you were like, can you shut up? Because the tour guide kept asking questions about, like, the history of baseball and shit like that. And you were like, dude, stop getting things right. You're making things weird. And I was like, sorry. She goes,
What we do.
can anyone tell me what happened the day that Fenway Park opened? I was like, a lot of people died in the Titanic. And you were like, that's not the way to say that.
I think someone else on the tour audibly went, "Oh my God!"
Yes. And I was like, oh, I should have said the Titanic sank, right? Yeah.
The funny part was the tour guy. After the person said that, the tour guy was like, "That's correct." I was like, "Oh my God!"
And you were like, you gotta be kidding me. You were red-faced, and you were like, what the fuck,
Like I am
dude?
right now, I'm fucking sweating.
Always the embarrassed one. And I was like, dude, let me be me. Like, it wasn't even intentional. But also, thank you so much for that trip, because I also got my Tinder profile, my Bumble profile picture from that amazing picture you took of me standing down by the sideline where I'm looking all cool. It was one of the best pictures of all time. My girlfriend loved it. That's
I
why I'm
gotta
with
tell
her.
you, I don't think that's your best picture. I think you're forgetting about your best picture. Was when we were up on the monster, and they had that plaque right there that said no leaning over the field of play. And what are you doing in that picture, my man? Mind you, there's no game going, so you can lean over the field of play. It's not the safest idea, but you can do it.
No, it's...
My man
Listen.
is leaning over the field of play, staring at the camera, and I said, gold.
Listen, man, it's not a
Absolute
One Direction
gold.
drop, but I'm telling you, it's a drop. Off that monster, it's a drop.
Oh, it is a far fall.
Those are some good days, man.
Oh, man. They were so much goddamn fun.
Oh, dude.
I'd love to do that again.
Well, next time when we do it, you got to bring your nephew.
I am more than willing to do that.
Oh, we're going to take Murph in a couple years when he can appreciate it.
Dude, when we can get Murph to appreciate Boston, oh, that'll be such a great time.
Well, you can get him to appreciate baseball and actually sit down and not run around like for more than like 5 minutes. It's going to be great.
Gonna need a lot of work.
Well, I mean, the good thing is, like, he's actually pretty patient when it comes to watching a baseball game because he knows, like, the vibe. He knows it's chill until it's playoff time, and I make him cry twice in the same game because I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" and he's like, "That's scary." I'm like, "No, baby, I love you, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry."
It's like Dad's just really excited.
And I'm like, take him out of the room, please. I'm sorry, buddy. And then 60 seconds later, back-to-back home runs. I'm like, oh, God, I'm sorry. I did it again. So eventually he'll understand that you have to be passionate and that it's okay to be intense. And being intense is what this sport's about. So
Fucking A.
let's talk about some real intensity. Do you have some intensity that you want to talk about? Because I do. Let's talk about the intensity of fucking Gold Glove snubs. But also, listen, being a Gold Glover takes intensity, takes the ability to actually put all the effort out every single goddamn day. There's some people who do not deserve a Gold Glove finalist this year. It's kind of pathetic. So, let's just start off with one of the most obvious. Right field for the AL.
I knew this one.
Wilyer Abreu from Boston.
Yep.
There's two other selections for the finalists. After Wilyer, why did you choose anyone else? It's not because Willier's that much better. It's because the two people you chose do not deserve a Gold Glove. Juan Soto.
Don't say it.
He has cement shoes. Number one. Zero DRS, defensive run saved, for all you actual baseball nerds. Joe Adell from the Angels. Didn't I watch a ball land off his head and go over the fence this year?
I think we both saw that one.
Yeah, okay. Listen, man, I know one play does not make or break your defensive prowess. That one should.
Yeah, that should get you automatically ejected from all
Consideration.
voting. Yes, that's the better word.
It's all good, baby. I got you. That one was very. That's a big WTF for right field. I mean, it has to be Will Bray, right?
I would love to sit here and say that Willier's going to win it, but honestly, with all the dumb shit we've seen in baseball lately, Joe Adele is probably going to win.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, it's kind of really like silly. But also you got the shortstop for the AL, Brian Rocchio. Is that how you say his last name?
Rocchio.
Rocchio. Okay. Was he solid defensively? Because let me tell you right now, I follow baseball very closely. That's the first time I heard his name. I have not watched any of the Yankees Guardians games because I have a life to live.
So I think the thing that kind of surprises me the most is Gold Glove is highly dependent on, your skills at the position, and
naturally,
for less words, how many runs you're able to save.
Yeah, it's DRS.
Rocchio finished 4th at the position with 10 defensive runs saved. 4th. Which
okay
makes me question, because the other ones...
Who were the 3 guys ahead of him?
So the 3 guys ahead, you're going to be surprised because none of these guys are actually up for Gold Gloves.
I'm not surprised. I wish I was, but I'm not surprised.
The other 3 are... Then the 3rd spot is Zach Neto from the Angels.
He's great defensively.
2 is Taylor Walls from Tampa Bay. And
wait.
1...
I didn't think that was Tampa Bay's replacement for Gross Guy.
Taylor Walls.
I thought they had the other stud.
No,
whatever.
He's the third baseman.
Oh, okay. Caminero.
Or second baseman. I forget where exactly.
Caminero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Taylor Walls was 2, and number 1 was Mason Wynn from St. Louis.
Which Mason Wynn... No. That's the AL.
Yeah. Fucking Christ. Jesus Christ. That's my bad. So...
He's got a little Boston on the brain.
So splitting it like that, Rocchio is 3rd in AL because he's got the Rays and the Angels in front of him, but overall, Mason Wynn is 1st from St. Louis.
And okay. So Anthony Volpe and Bobby Witt Jr. It's gonna go to Bobby Witt Jr.
It needs to go to Bobby Witt Jr.
because he's not getting MVP. He needs at least 1 award this year. Because let's face it, he's also getting... Oh, damn it, I did it again. I said I wasn't going to do it. That's the first time I did it all night. I was doing so good.
You were doing really well. I think for that, you got to finish your beer. There you go. Way to face it, bud. Appreciate you.
Junior is absolutely getting a Silver Slugger.
Yes, 100%.
If he doesn't, then...
What does that say about baseball? Bobby Witt gets robbed of a Silver Slugger. Like, listen...
When he technically, in my opinion, should be the MVP.
Like, I mean, Bobby Witt had such a year. I almost want to say that he should win Gold Glove and Silver Slugger. And it's a shame because, like I said earlier, Aaron Judge had such a goddamn great year that it's almost going to be impossible to knock him out of the MVP conversation.
Absolutely, and it's hard to disagree. I mean, Aaron Judge's season does triumph Bobby Witt by far. Unfortunately, because Bobby Witt had quite possibly a top 5 season out of the past 15 years.
Yeah, something like that.
For a shortstop? For a Royal?
Fucking huge. I mean, when's the last time we've seen like a solid Royal shortstop? Who was that? LC Descobar from the World Series year?
I mean, look, I'll tell you one better one. When was the last time we had a shortstop MVP? Was it Rollins?
Yeah, something like that. Nah. Because Rollins won what? 07, right?
A-Rob. No, A-Rob was not a shortstop. He was a third
There's
baseman.
no way we have... Hold on. VP winners. MLB. Has it really... So we had Shohei and Acuna last year.
Yep.
Judge and Goldschmidt, 22. Harper Ohtani, 21.
Yep.
Freeman Abreu in the C year.
First and first.
Bellinger and Trout in 19.
Center.
Give me 1 second. Betts and Yelich in 18.
Outfield.
Altuve, Stanton in 17.
So a second baseman.
Trout and Bryant in 16.
Third baseman. Outfielder.
Holy shit. Just to save time, I'm trying to find a shortstop. We haven't had a shortstop MVP winner since Jimmy Rollins did it in 07.
Wild.
That is insane. Like I can't believe that.
The most coveted position on every single team.
And then if you want to hear something even crazier, the last person to do it before that, we actually had back-to-backs in 2002, 2003 in the AL and haven't had them since.
Was that Ripken and Jeter?
No. Tejada
Jeter.
won it. Tejada won it in 02, and A-Rod won it in 03.
That's right. Tejada won it Moneyball year. And A-Rod won it for the Rangers. Or was it Mariners at that time?
That was Texas.
Okay, yeah.
That's just So before Rollins in 07, the last time the NL had a shortstop win MVP
Larkin
was 95, Barry Larkin.
Yep. Wild.
Damn, dude. Man, if Judge would have just taken his foot off the gas a little bit, that's Bobby's wit. That's Bobby Wits all the way.
Yeah, and I mean, the NL's not much better.
No.
So, I don't want to play Homer whatsoever here, but there's 4 Phillies for Gold Glove. I mean, Wheeler makes sense because he won one last year.
Yeah.
I get it. It makes sense. Harper at first. He's going to lose to Christian Walker. Christian Walker's going to win his 3rd straight. It means that Bryson Stott was snubbed so hard last year and wasn't even a finalist. I think they put him on this year because they were like, oh, we fucked up last year. Do I think Bryson Stott deserves it after his season this year? Listen, his defense didn't suffer.
No.
During the regular season.
Postseason, it was very abundant.
Abundant means a lot.
Yes. Doesn't it?
Abundant means a lot.
Yeah.
So his defense was a lot?
No, he had a lot of... Jesus Christ. Hold on. Let me just get myself together.
I'm not coming at you. I'm just trying to figure out what you were trying to say.
I meant to say he had more trouble in the postseason.
Correct. Yes.
With his defense because...
It was more abundantly obvious that he was struggling.
Yes, thank you. It was abundantly obvious.
Let's face it. I got you, babe. There you go.
I appreciate you throwing in a let's face it there.
Yeah, that one was warranted. So, I think this is kind of like the redemption year for him. But they left Nico Horner off, and Nico Horner had a better defensive season this year. And he won last year. So, that's a big snub. And then you got Brandon Marsh in left field.
I hate that nomination. I hate it. It just...
What the fuck?
I mean, that's Ian Haps all the way. And the minute I saw Brandon Marsh on there, I was like... There is not a single shot in hell Brandon Marsh is winning that over Ian Happ. There is not a chance.
Why would he? Like, I could have swore I've seen at least 6 Brandon Marsh errors in left field. He was a much better defensive center fielder than left fielder.
Yes.
Which doesn't make much sense. I mean, sure, you might read the ball better. But what the actual fuck? Like, there's people whose main position is left field. And they put Brandon Marsh there, who played some of the season there.
Like, split time, pretty much.
He was a fucking platoon player. Towards, I should say, after the All-Star break. And then come August 1st, when we acquired Austin Hayes. Brandon Marsh was out there 3 out of 6 games. Not even. It didn't make any sense to put him as a finalist. And then third base for the NL. You got 2 really good defensive third basemen. Nolan Arenado and Matt Chapman. And Ryan McMahon. There's 3 Rockies on this list.
Hold on. Before we skip over third base, this has to be said. Arenado and Chapman are kind of like The Rock and Stone Cold in the NL fighting over Gold Gloves.
Solid comparison. Holy shit.
Like, they are both platinum glovers. Like, they have won more than enough awards for their time playing the defensive third base. Like, we're talking The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Ryan McMahon on this list is the fucking Hurricane. If you don't remember the Hurricane, look him up right now.
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming.
There's a hurricane coming through.
Yeah, bad timing.
Stand back. Well, what? There's a hurricane coming through.
And weighing in at 215 pounds, the Hurricane.
I don't know how you...
Like, that is what we're looking at right now with that Gold Glove finalist.
It's hilarious.
like Chapman and Arenado are going back and forth throwing punches for this fucking thing. And Ryan McMahon just shows up, puts the cape over his face, and he's like, stand back. there's a hurricane coming through, and they're both just like, why don't we just beat the shit out of this dude real quick, and then we'll go back to fighting.
Yeah.
That's
like,
what it is.
Both of them look at each other and they're like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I played third base.
Like, Arenado must have been so stoked when Chapman was with Toronto for a little bit, because he's like, I'm going to stack all the awards. And then Chapman came back to the NL, and Arenado was like, fuck. He's like, God damn it.
He's like, well, this isn't fair.
Like, it's just so funny that these two are in their later part of their careers, and they are still fighting over Gold Gloves. Like,
but it's because no one's better at third base than them.
No, there's not no one holds a candle to those two playing the hot corner.
Let's look at the AL third base. You got Bregman, who's on the back half of his career.
Surprisingly, because we brought up a couple episodes ago, I thought Bregman was still in the early part, but he's going into a decade.
Which is crazy, but he also came up young.
Yeah.
And then you have Ernie Clement from Toronto. Who the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I have no idea.
I can tell you right now, when we played Toronto, both times, he did not play in any of the games.
I don't even know who that. Like, if someone showed me a picture,
I've never heard his name in my life.
Like,
That's
us two
not
being
a thing.
baseball fans, and then him being a Gold Glove medalist, and we're both sitting here going, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I feel like that's Toronto's baseball team in a nutshell right now.
Oh, absolutely.
They're just like...
So I want to give you a little, like, this is from another group of friends that I have. This is an inside joke between me, my girlfriend, and two of our friends. And I think it's one of the best things I've ever, like, encountered all the time. So, we're friends with a group of people who've been friends for many years. So, every single time we're at a party or gathering or anything like that, one of our friends will come up and be like, hey, have you met Ernie? And it's literally like the 87th time we've been around Ernie. And we've met him. And he goes, hey, have you met Ernie? And it's always hilarious because Kate and I go, stop asking us. We know Ernie. And it's one of the funniest things ever. Guess what? We don't know this fucking Ernie. No one in baseball knows this Ernie Clement. Listen, dude, you have two of the greatest names of superstars of all time. Ernie Banks and Roberto Clemente. But I don't know. No, it is Clement. Never mind. Whatever. So you got one. I misread that. I can't think of another Ernie in baseball. The only other fucking Ernie that I know of is Bert.
What if... All I'm saying is, what if we just found out that Ernie from Sesame Street's last name was Clement, and he just happened to be a fucking Gold Glover at the hot corner? Could you imagine?
And that
Could
sweater?
you imagine?
No.
Him said, hey, Bert! And just fucking
Bert.
throwing missiles across the diamond.
Bert, why are you shouting? Bert?
Bert? Oh, hey, Bert.
I think when Family Guy made fun of it, it was one of the best. Because they were partners.
Oh,
and it made sense.
No, don't ruin me like that.
So, the other one is Jose Ramirez. I think of Jose Ramirez as an amazing bat. An underrated talent. He should not be underrated. He should be top tier. Because let's face it. This is the true, let's face it. He could have also had an MVP season this year. You have three guys in the AL that could have been MVP, barring incredible seasons. Jose Ramirez had a fucking amazing season. Do you know his stat line for this year?
I can look it up right now.
Yeah. Be prepared to be amazed.
If I remember correctly, he was in the 30-30 club again.
He was almost 40-40.
Let's see what we got. All right, hit 279, 39 for 118, 41 stolen bases. Only 82 strikeouts.
Incredible on that number alone.
Crazy part is he didn't get any, well, as of right now, no MVP votes.
Ever?
No, he finished 10th last year, which wasn't a bad year for him.
No.
The closest he got to MVP was in the C word year. And even then he still had a fucking, like, those are fucking great numbers.
Yeah, but of course it went to Jose Abreu, which guess what? Where's Jose Abreu now?
Oh, retired. My man said I am done.
He's not officially done, but he should be.
I thought he officially hung him up.
No, I'm pretty sure he's still in Astros minor leagues.
Hold on. I'm gonna throw the challenge flag on that because I could have swore he retired.
I don't think so.
Whoa. What? Okay, so he was. Jesus. So Jose Abreu got released in June. The
Was
Astros,
it outrighted?
Yeah, the Astros still owe him about $30 million.
They should donate that to the Tampa Bay Rays to build a new stadium roof.
And then in October, at some point this month so far, the Senadores de San Juan announced that they signed Abreu for the upcoming season.
Do you know how much?
So it does not say, but considering he's getting $30 million from the Astros, I don't even think it fucking matters.
What is that? Pesos?
What's that like? Pesos? Yeah, come on.
But yeah, dude, like, this is the first time I can remember seeing so many. Who the fuck are you? Gold Glove finalists. Like, some of these guys I know very well. But I also did not know that they were doing Gold Glove for utility players.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that all of a sudden utility players are...
Who the fuck is Jared Trilio? From Pittsburgh.
I was about to say he's a Pirate.
Yeah, and then
Dude,
you got...
honestly, couldn't even fucking tell you.
You got Brandon Donovan and Kike, which I know both of them play multiple positions. They're, if you're a baseball fan, they're household names. So it's really hard to look at this entire Gold Glove landscape anymore and put as much weight into it when you know there's going to be the guaranteed winners, but also the... Dude, why were you nominated? I guarantee there's other players that were better than you. So it's very weird. I mean, shortstop for the NL, why was anyone but Mason Wynn nominated? You got Dansby and Ezekiel Tovar, which I know both of them are very good shortstops. But Mason Wynn had one of the best defensive seasons since Ozzie Smith for that team.
Mason Wynn should win that outright. Like, there shouldn't even be a fucking doubt.
Yeah,
like,
anyone voting for on the list.
Anyone voting for Tovar or Swanson on that list,
you're kind of an asshole.
It's just being a dick.
You're like, well, I definitely don't like either of these guys.
Like, it's almost like the person... Like, there was one person this year... I can't believe I'm making a WNBA reference here. But there was one person that didn't vote Caitlin Clark as the MVP. And it was just like, brother, what the hell are you doing? Like, she broke 4 or 5 records in her rookie year, this year alone. Broken records. And one person went, nah, still not good enough for me. Like, dude, you are a dickhead. Like, you are the worst of the worst. I hope you lose your voting rights, and I hope that you just get exiled to the middle of fucking the desert. Because you're just a prick.
Yeah, that's fair. I've heard her name before.
Nice grab, buddy.
Yeah. I didn't have too much else to say about that. Dude, I did not know any of that.
I had a feeling.
Yep. Sorry, basketball's a sport you do at recess when it's raining. You play it indoors because your gym teacher or your lunch monitor is like, we're not going outside, it's raining. Here's the basketball. Here's 57 of you. Figure out what you're going to do.
57.
It's like three classes. Sorry, I went to public school.
So did I.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, man, let me take a double check at this because I'm not happy. Maybe I'm happy. Oh, I'm happy. It's 4-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 7th against the Mets. So, yep. Are we going to move into final thoughts now? Because I think I got some drinking to do before I go to the airport because airport bars are going to be closed by the time I get there.
Before we jump into final thoughts, figure just give them an update on the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
As of today, which is Wednesday, October 16th, we're recording a day early.
1 day. No, 1 day.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 1 day early. But we're
You weren't wrong.
3 days early for an upload. Dodgers are currently leading, series tied 1-1. Yankees are smothering the Guardians. They're up 2-0. That's pretty much the update we have. Aaron Judge has played like shit. The Guardians got to stop shooting themselves in the foot.
J-Ram needs to show up.
The Dodgers are looking like Dodgers at the payroll shows.
But also, they're looking a
Mets,
little unhealthy right now.
And the Mets are looking like the underdog story for the year.
You can't be underdogs when you have the highest payroll in baseball. God damn it.
And God bless the Detroit Tigers. They made a strong push.
That was an underdog team.
Unfortunately, Lane Thomas just shoved it up their ass with a grand slam off Scooble. But, hey, we'll be back. I promise you that. But, Richie,
Respect.
final thoughts, bro. What you got?
Why is any single person in the playoffs still pitching to Vientos? Don't throw him a single fucking pitch.
These people are just assholes at this point.
Like, I said this against us. That was last week. The beginning of last week. We already got tossed by the time we filmed last week. Stop goddamn pitching to a guy who you know is hot. I don't care where he is in the lineup. Put him on base. How important is he? He's not going to steal on you. Let's face it. He's not better or worse than Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso can hurt you more. Vientos is just hot. Don't pitch to the hottest guy on the team. Their offense is going right now due to him. Due to him. Don't pitch to him. It's that easy. We should have not done that. But unfortunately, just like me, we're on vacation. Stupid. Stupid. Jay, what do you got?
All right. Obviously, my final thought, we do it every week. And it's probably one of the highlights, honestly.
Oh, I love it. Every week. I look forward to this. I think about it on Tuesdays.
Ooh, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's 2 days earlier than what we're recording tonight. That's how much I love it.
Today, in baseball history, we have a big one. This is one that it kind of led this player into a rough life after this happened, and I'll give you more backstory on it.
That was Alec Boehm.
No. No, this is a little worse than Alec Boehm. This is 1912. A player by the name of Fred Snodgrass dropped a fly ball in the 10th inning that helped the Boston Red Sox score 2 runs and take the World Series from the New York Giants. The reason why this was so harsh for Fred, if anyone's watched Ken Burns baseball, you know this story. Regular pop-up, Fred Snodgrass called for it, and then he just dropped it. The runner got on. Unfortunately, like I said, it led to the Giants losing the World Series, and the Giants manager at the time...
New York Giants, correct?
Yeah, the New York Giants.
Okay.
The manager felt so bad for Fred because Fred was beating himself up for dropping this ball. He actually doubled his salary. He paid him more because he felt bad. And Fred even went on to say in his later years that people remembered what he did. And when they would start to bring up the story, they would stop just to make sure they didn't make him feel bad about it. And I consider that one of, like, I don't think it's on the level of the Merkel boner, so to say.
Boner.
Yeah. But obviously a rough time for Fred Snodgrass. His team lost the World Series due to a drop ball. You know, it's rough sailing water when that shit kind of happens in baseball, but...
Yeah, man, that's wild. I didn't know anybody was like, hey, I feel bad for you. I'm going to give you more money. I mean, like, I've walked out of many concerts and stuff like that, and I've seen a homeless guy, and I'm like, here's a couple bucks. Or stuff like that, but I've never been like, I feel bad for you. Here's more money.
So, the manager at the time was John McGraw, who is a legendary Hall of Fame manager in baseball. Managed
Shout
the
out John
Giants,
McGraw.
Played for him. One of my favorite stories with John McGraw is that when he passed away shortly after his career ended in baseball. Now, this is a story, I'm not sure if it's 100% true, but I did learn it from Ken Burns Baseball.
Okay.
When they were going through his things after he passed, his wife had found a note of African American baseball players that he wished he could have signed, but due to the segregation of the game, he was unable to.
So he was an actual lover and admirer of the sport.
Yes.
This is one of those people that you just look at and you go, fuck yeah, man, you're a hero. Because you're someone that values this sport regardless of anything.
Like,
I don't care about the times. You deserve to play. That's fucking awesome. I did not know that. Thank you. Damn. That feels great to know.
I'm telling you, John McGraw was one of one.
Was it Tug's dad?
No. No. But the name is close.
Yeah.
I got 2 more. One more being a swift happy birthday to the Phillies 2-time MVP winner. Well, 1 time with the Phillies, 1 time with the Nationals.
Correct. Yes.
Mr. Bryce Harper, MV3 himself.
Shout out Bryce Harper.
Happy birthday, bud. We love you. Big fans.
Bryce, you're the dog. We all know that. Just do us a big favor. Be a better GM.
I think we can all appreciate that. And for my final thought, and this goes back to the John McGraw situation a little bit. John McGraw had the list of African American players he wished he could have signed. New episode of Behind the Seams dropping next week.
Ooh,
and this is about the player who actually broke the color barrier before Jackie Robinson.
Story time with Jay. I love it.
It's going to be a big one.
Can't wait.
Not only that, but there was a player before the player I talk about that did it, but he actually identified as a white man. Therefore, he didn't break the color barrier.
You can do that?
You're going to learn a lot in this week's episode of Behind the Scenes. I cannot wait to tell you about one Moses Fleetwood Walker. It's going to be can't miss. I worked my ass off on the script, and I hope that I bring as much light to his legacy as I can. Highly recommend reading up on his story. Look out for the video coming out next week. I can't wait to share it with you guys.
So, real quick, 2 things. Did not know that you could have all 3 of those names that just absolutely dictate that you are not any of those races, which is crazy. But also, I got one more shout out.
Okay.
And it's for your brother. Sweet little boy. We love that boy. Fred Frankhouse. Are you familiar with the name?
No.
Fred Frankhouse. Not a great pitcher at all. But he's from one of your brother's favorite places in the world. He's from Port Royal, Pennsylvania.
Port Royal. All right.
Yep. Fred Frankhouse played from September 7th, 1927 to September 25th, 1939. ERA of 3.92, 106 and 97. Kind of run of the mill during the dead ball era. Kind of just 500 ball. 622 strikeouts. That's it. Listen, I think it's hilarious. If you look up this guy's stats, his first year with the Cardinals, 2.7 ERA in 6 games. Second year, 3.96 in 21 games. 30 games the next year, 4.12. 35 games, 5.87. 8 games, 7.32. And this dude just progressively flirts between 4.5 to 3.16 for the rest of his career.
Gotta respect it.
And the only reason that Port Royal matters is because Jay's brother and my buddy Josh, Port Royal has a dirt track speedway that his brother loves to go to on weekends and thinks is one of the greatest places in the world. And I wanted to do Josh a favor and call this out, because it's the only person that is even noteworthy of saying from that fucking town. So, Josh, that's for you. I'm going to say one thing that I say to Josh at least twice a week, and it makes him feel so awkward. I love you, buddy. And then he looks at me and he goes, stop.
I love it. I love it. I love the love. A lot of love going around. Of course, man. Yo,
dude loves the best love.
There's a lot of love coming around.
Dude loves the best love. Shout out Dude Love.
But on that note, you know what time it is. It's time to wrap it up.
Oh, yeah. Put a condom on.
I'm Jay. That's Rich. My man Richie Six Beers, the kid himself. This has been Drunks on the Pond, episode 30. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow the socials. Hell of a lot of stuff coming out. I cannot wait. But we're getting the fuck up out of here. Peace.